because all the stuff you just said, and then you have the 0 Dark 30 throughout as well, which is rather telling for what's about to happen too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot going on.
Which I thought was crazy, which was Sacrilegious comes next. And the thing about that one is talking about people that don't understand that they never had the sickness.
Right.
So I wanted you to break that down, because I'm sure that from what I imagine, there's many layers to that.
There are layers to it. So, you know, sacrilegious is to do something or say something that can be considered blasphemous or unholy. And one of the things that could be considered blasphemous and unholy in Sacramento, and sacrilegious as well as sacrilegious, the one thing is to talk about unity, to talk about wanting the best for the whole city, Crips, Bloods, everybody, wanting to stop hating on motherfuckers and see each other as, you know, our brothers in this sport.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's motherfuckers I'm proud of, and that I want to be proud of me. But it starts with you secure your own section. I got a responsibility to secure my section and make sure that my section is operating correctly. And then you look up and see what can we do around here with the rest of it. But in the meantime, that's kind of what I'm on. And so, is it blasphemous to say? Is it for me to say X-rated Brother Lynch and Sibo got to be working together? T-Nutty, all of us, that the best way for us to successfully execute this particular stage of our careers and this part of the plan is for us to do it as one, and that we're unstoppable force. And so I'm describing the authority of why I get to speak this way, what I state my terms with the Socratic method, right? It's Southside till I die. I was born in Sac, specific on 24th Street, praying I survived the night. I'm sacrilegious. You won't understand if you never banged and never had the sickness. Right. We was macking bitches. Get a little change, people start acting different. It's summertime. Asphalt got so hot, we started packing different, heavy baggage. Every single rapper ever out of Sac is gifted. We can make it happen, get it cracking if we stop acting ignorant. And if you don't agree with that, it's facts that you got whack intentions. Soon as someone start to elevate, they all attack the nigga, pull him down, they want to take his place. So they distract the nigga, gossip about him, through slander at him till he blew the joint, complain that he left and find somebody else knew the point, add and say they proved the point. No matter who knew you a point, whoever it is, he's doomed if he's who you choose to anoint. It's Groundhog's Day. They always gonna kill the Messiah. All of the kids that he sires and any disciple inspired. Cause time change indeed, but we are not the same. What's understood don't never gotta be explained. It could get real strange on behalf of the block gang. You die in real life if you die inside of the game. Come on, man. Come on, man.
That's one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah.
You also speak about them always wanting to kill the Messiah.
Yeah, they always gonna kill the Messiah.
And that sadly has been happening since the beginning of time.
Yeah, man.
So when and why did that really crystallize for you and make you want to put it in the lyrics?
I think it illustrates, it's like they say there were many Neos. There were many versions. The Matrix had different, there were many Matrixes, and there was always a Neo. And they had to come up with a way to be able to satisfy the existence and allow this process to play out. And that the architect explained it. We've done this hundreds of times. And so I feel like I kind of have some of that going on, where it's like in Sacramento, you have this crop of rappers who are all dope. And in hip hop as a whole, there's always somebody who has an opportunity to be able to do something that's going to, like Nipsey just proved it. They always going to kill the Messiah, right? That's why niggas feel the way they feel about Kendrick. It's like, we not going for that no more. You know what I mean? Pac over here, you know, for whatever, however that unfolds, but they always gonna kill the Messiah. Biggie was a Messiah in Brooklyn, right? We losing. It's just over and over. Somebody like a J. Cole historically, we would have had to be worried about this dude. Is it safe for him to be out here? It's always somebody that's gonna do it. John Lennon wasn't even safe, right?
Well, you got Malcolm X, you got Medgar Evers, you
Talk
got
to
Martin
me.
Luther King.
It is a long list.
The
We can get
Kennedys.
funky.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I say they always gonna kill the Messiah, there's the person that somebody has to start advocating for the right reasons, the right things to be done for the right reasons, and to execute it. Somebody gotta do it, but it's blasphemous to do so, because it's people who don't want that. It's people who would rather it stay funky. It's ride or die until it bitter end. Because of tit for tat. So if the tit for tat is the standard, then this can't never stop. It can't never stop.
Well,
So it has to be somebody who go against the grain and say, hey man, I think the tit, who got tit or who got tat don't matter. I think it's more important for us to create peace and create opportunity for us to go after this generational wealth for our families. I think what's the priority, right? What is the priority? Education and paper or death and destruction?
right. Well,
We gotta have a conversation.
well, speaking of the priorities, can't hold us down. You have the no man in the rule, no man in the house rule, and I really liked how with the interludes that you break down what's going on in the songs, but also in society, and how it relates not only to your story, but sadly to the story of millions of people in our country.
Yeah.
When we hear these type of things and understand the ramifications of these policies that have been put into place,
Yeah.
the goal is to hold people down.
It is.
But how do you flip that as you did and Can't Hold Us Down while educating people at the same time?
I think the part where I talk about, come on, little man, take my hand and let me walk with you. I think everything I said coming from, police brutality, dealing with police brutality can be challenging when you're actually walking around in a house full of grieving family, which happened to me before in Texas, in Fort Worth, with Meemaw's family, where her brother had been shot outside that house. And we all were there, and that morning that was in that house, I remember that. And he was killed by a police officer, he was having a mental break, a mental issue, and they killed him instead of doing anything to make sure that he could survive that moment. And they didn't have to kill him, but they did. So you're actually walking around in a house full of grieving family. Now, reality bites. So I say, good morning, America. And if the lyrics is spelled morning, M-O-U-R-N-I-N-G,
Right.
morning in America with 3 Ks.
Right.
Good morning, America. I'll take 1,000,000 kids to the Statue of Liberty and let them stare at her. Do they scare her, or does she feel compassion? And did she too weep for the news that General Gordon Granger came to share on Juneteenth? Is that too deep for your shallow soul? Listen to me when I talk to you. Come on, little man, just take my hand and let me walk with you. So I'm putting this problem, identified it, I put a solution in there. The solution is take my hand, little man, let me walk with you.
Walk with me.
Right?
Right.
Is that too deep for your shallow soul? Listen to me when I talk to you. They plan to keep us broke, so I'm a ball and leave it all to you.
Generational wealth.
So this is break the generational curses.
Right.
Hey, break the conception. I'm saying it in there.
Right.
It's all over the album. This is a very consistent theme. If people can get through the anger, the grief, the acceptance, and get to the resolution, is break the generational curses. Hey, break the gener. So the plan is take the children, get them young as we can, get as many of the sanest OGs and the generation right under them, which I got walking around with me. If we can pull that off and put the onus on being, I got great fathers. My men are great fathers. My brothers are great fathers. It's a thing. And they great uncles. It's a lot going on. And I think that's the men. The men got to do their thing, bro. We got to step up.
Right.
We got to get cracking, and we got to get them while they're very, very young and start so we can impart, give them power, give them the support, give them the network, give them the fortitude, give them the strength so that somebody can hit their prime. And now we got to go back to sacrilegious.
Right.
As soon as someone start to elevate they are, I got to make sure that these children are prepared for that part of the battle. It's Groundhog Day. They always going to kill the Messiah, all of the kids and sires and any disciple is possible. This got to be combated. And the only way to combat it is with family, with strength, with education, with wealth. But it has to be combated, man. And so it's a mental, spiritual, this is warfare. And it is predicated on that faith.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait to get off parole. You know how unbearable for me to be, I'm not no fucking tap dancer. I don't tap dance on this motherfucking stage just rapping because I can rap. That would be so disrespectful to whatever that energy was that kicked me up out that environment. If I just was being a dope rapper, what the fuck is that? You know, imagine telling Chuck D, just be a dope rapper, Chuck. Everything gonna be okay. You know what I mean? What? Just be dope, Chris. Don't teach nobody nothing.
Right.
We don't need a school of hip hop. We don't need that, right? Tell KRS-One, tell Rakim to just rap. Just be dope. there's a message, it's a requirement to be an elite MC. To be somebody that's really pushing, there's a requirement. To be E40, the game is required to be spit. To be too short and make it this long, the game is required to be spit.
Right.
To be Ice-T for this long, the game is required Ice Cube, right? And when they made it, look at Snoopy. You gotta be that. This nigga at the Olympics, I was so proud of that nigga, cuz.
That was crazy.
That was so dope.
I was very surprised.
That was a
in great
victory
way.
for the niggas. That was a real victory for the niggas, bro. I loved every minute of it. But so I'm saying, if we just own our shit and we studying what the legends did, what the GOATs did, then what we can see is that it's a mandatory part of the process to be imparting something worthy of being imparted inside of your music. Tookie said that to me in his letter. Monster told me I had a responsibility to be saying something worthy of being heard. He literally wrote me, after Deadly Game came out.
Really?
And they figured out that I wrote that. I heard from both of them.
The Sibo song, for those that don't know.
Shout out to Bolo. Number 3 behind Brian McKnight and Mariah Carey. Go check it. I think it was 97.
Yeah.
Go check the stats. Number 3 Billboard charts behind Brian McKnight and Mariah Carey. Introduces the mob figures to hip hop, which gives birth to the career of the Jackets. Like, come on, man. Shout out to Sibo, man. Come on. And that's, again, come on, man. That's one of the reasons why us not working together, us not doing what we supposed to be doing is ridiculous. We got to be on it. We savage. We dope as a motherfucker. I'm inspired by where hip hop is. Imagine Tupac without the spirit he got. Nas could have sold out and been making fucking jingles and shit. You know what I mean? He's still Nas. He said what he was supposed to say. He
And
did
still
it.
saying it.
He's still doing it.
And still.
Like that shit is a prerequisite.
Yeah.
Shout out to J. Cole. Look at Corday. He got it in him.
Yeah.
He gonna go there. Jid, they actually be talking that shit. They not fucking around. I don't know what people talking about hip hop.
And my boy
This
Vince
nigga's
Staples,
out there doing it, who?
Vince Staples too?
Yeah, Vince Staples is on one.
Yeah.
His show is fire too. Like, I'm hella proud of us. We in a pocket. We in a pocket.
Yeah.
The nigga YG out there doing MLK type shit. This nigga doing Malcolm X type shit. Like, if you don't like that, nigga, fuck you niggas. My mama, whoever don't like that,
Right.
man, we used to smack you crazy niggas. We ain't let crazy niggas run around. They used to get smacked. You could be a gangster ass nigga. If you was just crazy, you smacked out there. Now the crazy niggas is the ones with opinions. Talking about the fuck we supposed to do. Like, man, this shit is beautiful. Where the culture is right now is beautiful. It's like 1992 all over again with no drama. It's just purely opportunity for whatever, any and everything. It feel good everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, push, young man. Say what the fuck you think is up. I'm on parole. You ain't on parole. You free. They can't come fuck with you, man. Fulfill your purpose.